Hello everyone, my name is Asya, as most of you guys know if you're my Facebook friend, and today I am in my kitchen and I'm going to be making an amazing dish called, I'm getting artistic direction from Shubber. I'm going to be making a zucchini noodle pad thai, and it's a really fun dish to make because I don't know about you guys, but I've been really craving like raw food. And so this is a really fun and easy raw dish. So the way you start to make zucchini noodles is you have a spiralizer. So I'm gonna move this spiralizer in the middle here so you guys can see. And basically what you do is you put the zucchini, this is already washed. So I'm gonna put the zucchini here, and then I take the sharp prongs and I put them into the stem. And then you take a bowl and you put the bowl here. And now I'm just literally just going to hold the machine and start to move in a circle. And this is making spiralized zucchini noodles. How are you guys doing? How is your fast going? How's everyone who's fasting or not fasting doing? So basically I'm making zucchini noodles, and this is a really delicious dish. I learned this when I was in Bali. I went to a raw food cooking school, and I learned this dish, and I had not tried it in a long time, and it is so delicious and so easy to make. And I love zucchini noodles because I just find them are really like nice and delicious and fresh. I think especially when the body is fasting, we kind of crave lighter foods, unless you're used to eating really heavy foods, but then you kind of feel sick and tired. So I really find like the best way to break the fast is just like some like fruits, and then after that like a nice light meal. So I'm making this zucchini noodle dish, and it's called zucchini pad thai. I'm gonna move this over so that I don't launch the bowl into the sink. Also, if you are one of my photography clients, please do not text me because I keep getting text messages from someone. It's so annoying. I really love communicating via WhatsApp instead of text, because I feel like I can't even concentrate. Okay, so I have my zucchini noodles in here and they look amazing. And now I'm just gonna add a carrot to this mix. And I find spiralizing carrots really difficult. And so I'm just taking a peeler and I'm making kind of like carrot strips. You could also grate it, but I made this dish yesterday and I found it was really annoying to have to wash the grater. So I'm just, out of laziness, using a carrot, using a peeler instead. And that's gonna give kind of a similar noodle type feel. And I actually think that it's gonna be a little nicer on the palate to have a noodle type feel. So I'm making zucchini noodle pad thai, and this is such a delicious dish. I learned this at my raw food cooking in Bali. Have you guys ever made zucchini noodles? You can comment below. I would love to hear if you've ever tried and what your favorite zucchini noodle recipes are. And okay, so I think that's probably pretty good. Maybe I'll just chop up these little last pieces. So this dish actually has, it calls for a pear and jicama and different ingredients. I don't have all the ingredients, but I do have a pear, so I will be adding a pear in. So here is a pear. I used half of it yesterday, so I'm gonna use the other half. I'm gonna take the sticker off and give it a nice rinse. And I think the pear adds like this kind of sweet, so I'm gonna just set aside, so I have my zucchini noodles and carrot in here. And now I'm going to take the pear, cut the stem off, and then I'm gonna just create like little bite-sized pieces. You know, it's always nice to have a little bit of a sweet element in your food. I really like the pear because it's sweet, but it's not too sweet, and it's got a nice texture, and it's just an awesome fruit to have in a salad. And I actually never would have thought of this pairing, but this was part of a recipe that I learned. How are you guys doing? How's your weekend going? So I think these are probably pretty good sized pieces. I just want them to be like bite-sized pieces that are really enjoyable to eat. Okay, so they're all cubed. So I'm going to add these to my salad. So far I have the zucchini noodles, the carrots, and now I'm adding pear. And this is like such a nice salad, and it's such a nice pairing because it has the fruit element, it has like the vegetable element, you know. I think that I love eating carrots too because they're like super grounding. So we have the zucchini, spiralized carrots, and pear. And now I'm going to add in, hi Gulam Uncle, nice to see you on here. Now I'm just gonna add in a little bit of parsley. So nice. Herbs are just such a fun way to like kind of freshen up a dish, you know. When you add herbs, it adds this like fresh element to it. So I'm just gonna cut off the stems by tearing it, and then take my knife and slowly and carefully cut the herbs into tiny pieces. And this is just really, like I said, gonna add such a nice fresh element to the dish and make it really enjoyable. So after I do a first cut, then I hold the knife with this part and this part, and I kind of go like this, and this creates a tiny bit of like a chopping motion. Okay, so I'm taking out some more of those stems. Now I'm gonna add the herbs to here. So we have the herb element, the fruit element, and then the zucchini, and this is so delicious, and I think you guys will really like it. Okay, I think that's it for so I have my noodles, I have my pear, carrots, and then if you do have sprouts, I don't actually have sprouts right now, but if you have sprouts, you can add sprouts to this and it will add a protein element. And it's, you know, because they're usually like mung sprouts are made out of mung beans. I don't have that, so I'm just gonna skip it. But this in itself is still full of tons of nutrition. This is like a portion for one person, you know? When you eat plant food, it's like so nourishing, so hydrating. Like this is enough for one person. Okay. Or two people. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little Ninja, and in my Ninja, I'm going to make the sauce for it. We are almost out of peanut butter, so I'm just gonna scrape the lid, whatever's left, because basically you need about like 2 tablespoons. The recipe actually is for like 2 people, but since I'm the only one who's gonna eat this, I'm splitting the recipe in half, so I'm doing, instead of a 1/4 cup, I'm doing 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. And you can also use almond butter or any type of nut butter that you have. And we are, like I said, just on the last little bit of this peanut butter. So I'm gonna scrape this jar clean. And since I would probably be eating the entire dish, you just kind of want to be a little bit mindful about how much fat you're putting in, because like if I'm eating this whole thing, it's like eating, you know, the full amount. So I already squeezed lemon in here, and now I put peanut butter. Now I'm going to add some salt, some pepper. So let me grab these. So let's add some pepper. And this is just to taste, so you don't want to put too much pepper. And I love the way harissa tastes, because I feel like harissa just adds like a really nice, so I'm adding some salt. Harissa just adds a nice little spice, and this is red chili pepper, red bell pepper, garlic, olive oil, and then salt. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this harissa to give a little flavor. I'm gonna just put like a teaspoon of that. And then the other thing that's really nice to add is garlic. Sorry, I probably should have found the garlic before I started this video. And the other thing I need, which I'm also trying to find, is my Briggs Amino. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So Briggs Amino is a great alternative to soy sauce, and I use it. It's a natural soy sauce alternative. So I use that instead of soy sauce. Okay, so I have some garlic. I'm just gonna take off one little piece from the bulb. Or maybe I'll do 2 pieces because I really like garlic. So when I cut garlic, I usually chop off the edge and then kind of use the knife to peel it. I'm gonna throw everything in the sink and clean it up later. And then I take the side of my knife and I kind of like push down and crush the garlic. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna add the garlic to this sauce. So I'm making zucchini noodles and then like a peanut sauce. So I'm just gonna rinse this garlic off before I add it in, and rinse this little piece and put it in. So I've got peanut butter, chilies, salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add a little bit of this soy sauce alternative. It's new because I finished the last amount yesterday, so I gotta take off the plastic here. Maybe I'll just do a spray because I think it's probably, that's weird. Yeah, but that's fine. So I'm not gonna want that much. I'm gonna want like about a teaspoon, so I'm gonna put like a few sprays. I think that's probably good. Oh, kind of a strong smell. And maybe it was like still, it was still kind of, you know, ruminating, and then I took a sniff of it. Okay, the other thing that's really nice is kaffir lime, but I don't have kaffir lime. Kaffir lime gives that like kind of Asian taste and flavor. I really want to buy some kaffir lime paste because I think you can buy some of that. The last ingredient is just a little bit of water. I think I'm going to measure it so I don't mess up here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to do, since I did about a tablespoon of peanut butter, I'm going to do the same amount of water. So this is going to be the sauce. So I'm going to just give it a quick whirl in the Ninja. So here's the lid, and I think my Ninja's over here, so I'm just going to turn this over. Can you see me? Okay. So I'm going to put this lid over here and put the lid on here. Easy peasy. Nice and breezy. Okay, so here it is. The sauce has been made. It looks pretty good. Is there some chunks in it still? A little chunky still, but I can get that out. So here it is. We have zucchini noodles, carrots, pears, fresh parsley, and then this peanut sauce. And I think this is gonna be so delicious. I had it yesterday and I was like, I have to share this recipe with all of you. Okay, I love you all, so I'm gonna just dump this on. I'm gonna turn this back over this way so that I can do the last step here. So I'm going to remove the blade, and I have a nice spatula that I used earlier, so I'm just gonna pour this sauce onto the, ooh, this looks so delicious. And believe me, it is delicious because yesterday I made this and it was like, I was like, this flavor combination is just to die for. And I was like, I have to share this recipe because, so it's zucchini noodle. For those who are just joining, it's zucchini noodle with carrot, parsley, and pear topped with a peanut butter sauce. And one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fresh peanuts that I have in the fridge, and I'm just going to sprinkle a few fresh peanuts on this. And oh, one other thing that I forgot to do that is actually really important to do when you are using, when you are making spiralize things, I always take my scissors and I basically take my scissors and I just put them face down into the dish and I just chop. And I try to do this actually before I add everything else, but the reason you want to do this is because the spiralize is like one continuous loop. So if you don't actually cut the spiralized zucchini, it will be like, you know, too long of a piece. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. If you want to see how this looks, it is super fresh, super raw, and super delicious. And this recipe, like I said, it's just, it feels so good in the fasting body. I'll post a picture along with the recipe, so in case you guys want to try it out. My mouth is watering as I make this video, and I hope yours is too. I love you. Take care.